Grandson of right thought. My bad, y'all. Got cut off on the last video. But continuing where we left off. Understanding God's judgment. Now remember I said that the father walks in and he says, hey, we're leaving at 11 o'clock. Now, he expects you to reverence what he's told you. Or in other words, fear his word. So now when you're living the rest of the time that you're playing or wherever you're at, you're watching that clock for 11 o'clock. As it gets closer, you start to beware. Now, if the world has become too enticing to you, you'll lose track of time, as we say. You'll get distracted. You'll be caught unawares. And you'll look at that clock and it'll be 11:15. Now, at 11:15, where will the father be? He'll be gone. Let's say if he said, 11 p.m. we're leaving, son. Or he didn't say son. He just said 11 p.m. we're leaving. And it's like 12 in the afternoon when he starts saying that. 2 o'clock he comes back, he says it again. 3 o'clock he says it again. Every hour on the hour he warns you. 11 o'clock we're leaving. So he gave you several warnings. There's no excuse. You see what I'm trying to explain to you? Now, at 11 o'clock, he leaves. You're not in the car. You didn't catch the ride when he left. You see that? You didn't catch the ride when he left, but he left. So what does that mean for you? That means that whatever happens to that place that God said was going to happen to them, it's now going to fall on that place with you there. Which is why the father said, we're leaving at 11. Because when the shit fall, we're not going to be here. But you got distracted with the other kids. You got to playing along with them. You got to try to blending in with them. You got to denying your father's voice. You start to listening to them lie to you about your father. And so you were playing around and caught unawares. His judgment is giving you what you want. Not giving you what you don't want. Y'all think the father is cruel. He's not. He's loving and kind and full of tender mercies, and his mercy endures forever. So then he would never give you what you don't want. Remember, all things work together for the good of those who love God and called according to his purpose. He loves his own and he will take care of and provide for his own because he said that he would. It is when we don't believe his word, is when we turn from his word, is when we don't adhere to what his words when he said, 11 o'clock, we're leaving. We didn't listen to that. We can't blame the father for not listening to his word, not believing it, doubting it, whatever you thought wrong. You can't blame the father for that because he warned you every hour on the hour. And every time he would send one of his servants to your little play place where you and your friends were playing, y'all would take that guy, beat him up, kill him, and say, man, stop telling us about 11 o'clock, man. We got all day to play. Let us play in peace. That's what Christ meant when he said, Jerusalem, Jerusalem, you who stoned the prophets, who won't let me gather you like a hen does her chicks. It's so obvious, Israel, if you're willing to hear it today. If you're willing to hear it. So as we were discussing this mystery of Ephraim and Judah, what it means for the nation of Israel, also what it means for you. The two men that Christ came to make peace between the two was Ephraim and Judah. I am not sent but unto the lost sheep of the house of Israel. So you got to make it match, y'all. Precept on precept. You got to make it connect. So if Christ was sent to Israel, then he was sent to make peace in that house, to set up the kingdom for that house. That's right. Israel, Ephraim, Judah, two nations that become one in his hand. You shall no longer be two nations. This is written in the word, guys. Two means divided. So then there are two believers that have vexation and envy between them two. that Christ is going to destroy between the two of them, and they're going to be able to see each other for what they were, which was brothers all along, doing the same thing all along. The Spirit is doing that right now on the earth. It is just that many are sleeping or not paying attention because love is not leading their hearts. But those who are seeking after love are being rekindled in the Spirit. Their envy and vexation is being removed, and they're having brotherly love one unto another again. They're becoming one stick again. It's happening right now. They're seeing it happen right in front of them. The same people that were scattered, put into slavery, had no idea of where they were, who they were, what their heritage was. Everything was a mystery to them. And read the Bible and see if that's true. Mystery Babylon. This is a mystery concerning Christ and the church. All these mysteries from the foundation of the world that have been hidden from Israel until their hearts were made ready, just like you would do with your own son. Because guess what? You want your son to say, oh, it's 10 minutes to 11. All right, guys, gotta go. Waiting at the door. It's not even 11 o'clock. It's 10:50. He's already at the door waiting. That's what you want your son to do. That's what would please you. And it would make you even more happy is if your son, when he was called to come at 11 and he got up at 10:50 to go to the door and wait for his father, if he went and collected his brothers and sisters as well, even though some of them smacked him, some of them pushed him away and threw toys at him, some of them said, stop being a damn, what are you, a leader over us? Who made you king over us? You will start to sound just like Joseph. Your life will be just like Joseph. So I want you guys to hear this real quick. The grandson of right thought. What did I tell you is thought? The northern kingdom of Israel, Ephraim, or Zion. Zion. Right feeling, Jerusalem, the Jews, Judah, the southern kingdom of Israel. I say this all the time. So the grandson of right thought, but you're a Jew. I told you, the two sticks have become one in me. Now y'all need to do the same thing. You got one half of you that's over righteous, that is vexing your over wicked side. And your over wicked side is getting vexed. I always get this mixed up. But your over righteous side is envious. And that's strange to people of the world. They say, what the hell does that mean? Look, if you had two sons, one of them was over righteous, one was over wicked. Your over righteous son would constantly vex your over wicked son, wouldn't he? Hey, don't do that. Don't do that. Dad wouldn't like if we did that. Let's go this way. Let's do this. Let's do the right thing. Let's not do the wrong thing. That would vex the over wicked son, wouldn't it? Okay, then. Now, what would the over wicked son be doing to the over righteous brother? He would envy him. He would see the father always saying good job and he's always getting rewarded for his good behavior. That's going to make envy. How come your way is considered right? How come my way isn't considered right? What's wrong? I serve God too. Oh, because I don't do it on that day that you said to do it, I'm wrong. This is what we all read in the New Testament about some keep the Sabbath day on certain days, some accept all days are alike. This is to break down that shit that you guys got between the two of you. In this church, you guys are having it, fighting with one another. Oh, the Sabbath is on this day, sundown on that day. And if you don't do it on that day, then what are you doing? How in the hell do you know what day it is? After being 400 years in bondage and given a false calendar, false dates. And Abba says he hates your feast days. They are abhorrent to him because they're on the wrong days, because they're done with the wrong intentions. So do you see? He came to make out of the two, one new man. That's the two sticks becoming one. So do you see how Abba did it in me? So I can bear witness to what he's doing? Judah and Ephraim in one. You see? My right feelings in me bear witness that my thoughts are right as one. That means Ephraim and Judah have become one in me. So now any of my brothers, I can succor them, whether they be from Ephraim or from Judah. Or in other words, if they be over righteous or over wicked, I can pull them in because I'm the man in the middle. I'm the two sticks that became one stick. or the branch, Abba calls him. Y'all hear that today? Y'all hear it today? And that's why it says grandson of right thought, because watch this. Ephraim. Is Ephraim a grandson of God? Of Jacob? Or is he Jacob's son? Watch how that's going to bake your noodle. Look at how that shit's going to bake your noodle. Ephraim is a grandson. He represents one of the sons. He represents the son, Joseph. So then what am I doing? I'm the grandson who represents the son. Just like God showed through Jacob. He doesn't do it for no reason. He showed that through Joseph. Hey, Joseph, watch this. Let me put my hands like this. Joseph said, hey, your hands are wrong. You got your hands on the wrong son's head. And what are you doing? He says, I am accepting your sons as my sons. They're not your sons anymore. They're mine. How come you guys can't hear that? So then Joseph, who is the son of Jacob, if your sons are no longer your sons, but they're your father's sons, they have become your brothers, though they be grandsons. So do y'all see why I'm called the grandson of right thought? The grandson of Zion? This is what I bear witness to. This is what I'm bearing witness to. That neither one of you can get in by yourself. I've already made videos on this. 2 can't get in, but 1 can. And what do you think I mean by saying that? 2 can't get in, but 1 can. What do you think I mean by saying that? I've already made it clear about the 2 sons in your house, about the type of beef that they would have between them 2. And y'all can't deny that that's true. If one was righteous and one was wicked, then they would have a specific type of beef. The wicked one would be envious of the righteous one, just like Cain was envious of Abel, just like Esau was envious of Jacob. And so Jacob vexed Esau, or Abel vexed Cain. Can y'all hear that? Envy and vexation. Same thing happened with the 2 kingdoms of Israel that were never supposed to be 2, but 1. Because guess what? Before they were split into 2, were they 1? Well, under King David, they were a unified nation as 1. You see that there? But after Solomon, when his son was born, a half-breed, see how you guys got to pay attention to everything that's in there? His mother being an Ammonite. Yeah. Yep, Rehoboam, Solomon's son. His mother was an Ammonite. That's why his kingdom was split into 2, because his genes were split into 2. That's why God said, don't do that. Can't y'all see it? Can't you see it? Don't mix the righteous seed with the wicked seed. Don't mix the wheat with the tare seed, because they don't go together, because they're not the same thing. Because they're not the same thing. They're just similar. Can bees and wasps have offspring and live in the nest together? But they're similar, but they're not the same. One gives something back, the other one doesn't. Hope y'all can hear this today, because you'll greatly benefit from it if you know which one you are. If you be the over wicked or the over righteous, if you know what side you're on, then you know what you need to do. Wicked, the over wicked, that are Abbas. See, because people don't understand. They say, how you gonna say the over wicked are Abbas? Because he gave them a warning: don't be over righteous or over wicked. He gave that to the ecclesia, which are the called out elect. So then you got some elect that's over righteous in their dealings, and some elect that are over wicked. He wants to bring balance to the 2. So simple, so easy. Because between those 2 is where you'll find what you're looking for, which is rest. If you're over righteous, you're constantly working. If you're over wicked, you're constantly being idle. You got to do both. That's why God said, I gave you 6 days to do all your work, and I gave you 1 day of rest. So you would have balance to your life. The over righteous won't take the 1 day of rest. You see what the Jews did to Christ. They're constantly watching him. You're not resting. If you're constantly watching to see what someone else is doing, you're not resting. You're too busy being a judge of the law. And the over wicked, they don't honor any day. They just say, what's the point? And that was what Paul was saying when he said, do we have grace? I mean, do we sin that grace may abound? God forbid. Why would he say that? Because the over wicked side of the elect will start to believe that. They'll say, wait a minute. Wait a minute. If we got grace, then we might as well just do whatever we want to do. No. We don't have grace that we don't sin that grace may abound. That's not what we do here. You'll see that? You got to find that balance between the two. So both of those kingdoms of Israel have to find that balance, and the only place they'll find that balance is in Christ. They can sit back and debate about genealogies all day. They can debate about the land masses all day. They can debate about which tribe is which all damn day long. But what they can't debate about is the truth of Christ. Christ's teachings are not left up to interpretation. They are simple truth that everybody must submit to. Simple truths that everybody must submit to. And that is why Christ was crucified with two men, one on his right hand and one on his left. That's why. Reconciling them both to himself. Abolishing that enmity. That law. You don't know, you Jews of the world, you true Jews. You don't know how you've been towards your brother with that law. How harsh you've been. A harsh taskmaster you've been. But not able to lift it on your own, which makes you a hypocrite. So it's time that you drop your judgment and stop vexing your brothers in the faith. Stop vexing them if you be a Jew, a true Jew. Because a true Jew is one inwardly and one of the heart. So I was looking at your heart to see if you're a true Jew or not, just like not at your lineage. Because there be many of Israel that are not Israel. You hear that today? So it's simple. It's simple. One man going to make it back in. That man that's been made one stick in Abba's hand. Out of the two. Out of the twain. Making them one man. Abolishing the partition. See? The separation between the two halves. Your thoughts and your feelings were separated. You see that? Separated from one another. So, Abba showed you how to get it back. He showed you how. Your feelings will submit to the truth. So you must speak the truth in your thoughts and let your feelings come in submission. So then if you understand that, then where's the truth going to hit first, Joseph? And he's gonna bring Judah back in with him. First shall be last, last shall be first. You guys don't understand that? The gospel was first preached to the Jews, then to the Gentiles. Do you hear me? That's why the grandson of right thought is getting the right words to give to the feelings of the flock. Most High said he would exalt his voice from Zion. That's how he's going to call them back. Zion is Ephraim. Zion is Joseph. The rainbow man. The rainbow man. Why do you think the whole world is wearing a rainbow, making a mockery of the rainbow man in the last hour who stands up? Is Joseph the rainbow man? Oh, why are you calling him rainbow man? Okay, let me make it in layman's terms. Did Joseph have a coat of many colors that he wore? What do you think the coat of many colors represented? Well, the rainbow comes from light. So that means Joseph's body was full of light. Well, how did Christ say you get your body full of light? You let thine eye be single. So your feelings and your thoughts become single and your whole body is full of light. Just like I've been trying to tell you guys if y'all willing to hear boy today. Y'all didn't hear how beautiful that went together? How simple that was to put together? That's why he had a coat of many colors. You can't have a coat of many colors if you don't have light. And how do you get light? We just told you, let thine eye be single. Who you are has to be single. And who you are your thoughts and your feelings. Ephraim and Judah, they must become one. Or you don't have a scepter in your hand. You're denying one half of thine self. Still on my Mr. Hello.